皆さん、
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for attending the debriefing session for the Hiroshima Junior International Forum today. I'm Ayu Yamanaka, and I'm Hirono Nishioka, the second grader of Hiroshima Prefectural Yasufuru Ichi High School, serving as the masters of the debriefing session. First, let me briefly explain about the Hiroshima Junior International Forum. The Hiroshima Junior International Forum is organized to provide foreign high school students from Hiroshima and international students studying in Hiroshima with an opportunity to get together in Hiroshima, hear the voices of Hibakusha, and visit the Peace Memorial Museum to find out the reality of the atomic bombing. They also have discussions under the theme of what we can do to realize a peaceful world and present the results in the form of the Hiroshima Declaration. This year marks the second time. The Hiroshima Declaration will be announced by participants later in this debriefing session. Now, the results of the Hiroshima Junior International Forum are reported. Those who present the report, please come up to the stage. Let me introduce to you those who present the report. First, coordinators. The facilitator of the group discussion at the forum, Professor Noriko Sado from Hiroshima Shudo University. Serving as a facilitator of the group discussion, Associate Professor Keiko Nakamura from Nagasaki University. Serving as a facilitator of the group discussion, Lecturer Yoshiaki Furuzawa from Hiroshima City University. Of 83 participants in the Hiroshima Junior International Forum, 10 members are on the stage.
Now, I'd like to proceeding will be given to coordinator Professor Sado, and from here the main language will be in English. So if you want to hear Japanese, please use a translation receiver. Professor Sado, would you take it?
Share the excellent outcome of participant of this forum. Before sharing such a declaration, I would like to mention a little bit about this project. In 2011, the Excellency and Specialist on the Security and International Politics announced Hiroshima for Global Peace Plan toward the community of Hiroshima. The plan covered the role and mission of Hiroshima for world peace. The plan emphasized the importance of Hiroshima and expect that Hiroshima will be an international hub for peace. Having such suggestion, Hiroshima Prefectural government has committed many projects to encourage the abolition of nuclear weapons and foster the peace building. Hosting this Hiroshima Junior International Forum is one of such commitment. The purpose of this forum, it was just mentioned by the ladies on the floor, but I would like to mention a little bit. The purpose of this forum is to deepen mutual understanding among young generation and encourage them and spread a concrete message for message for nuclear abolition and peace building from such young generation. Participants of this forum are diverse. We get together here in Hiroshima and spend the past 3 days. On the first day, they visited the Peace Memorial Museum and listened to the testimony. And they also learned a lot from speeches made by Mr. Toshio Sano, a former ambassador of Japan to the Conference on Disarmament. They also enjoyed the speeches made by the Ms. Kaoru Nemoto. She is the director of United Nations Information Center. They also enjoyed the speeches made by Ms. Kaori Kuroda. She is the executive director of CSO Network Japan. On the second day, they had lecture and comment on nuclear issues from the expert. Expert Professor Keiko Nakamura just beside me, and also the Professor Shiro Sato just sitting on the floor over there. They also enjoyed the lecture and comment made by the expert of peace building, Professor Yoshiaki Furuzawa, just standing over there, and also Kyoko Kuro, she's sitting over there. Having such time for learning, finally they had discussion to share their understanding, their opinion, and their idea for better future. They discussed about challenges to abolish nuclear weapon, solution, and suggestion. They also discussed about the challenges for building a peaceful community, solution, and suggestion. Furthermore, they discussed with passion the role of Hiroshima to abolish nuclear weapons and to build more peaceful community in the world. Based on their sincere and concentrated discussion, they drafted and approved Hiroshima Declaration in this morning. Well, I just sketched out a rough procedure and the purpose of this forum. But I think that the Professor Nakamura and Furuzawa will be happy to comment and summarize the process of discussion and how participants contributed to. So I would like to pass the microphone to Mr. Nakamura first.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Hi. Okay, I served as a facilitator for the discussion yesterday morning about the nuclear weapons abolition. And in my initial lecture, I emphasized that we are facing a tremendous challenge, but at the same time, we are facing a lot of opportunity in terms of our effort toward the nuclear weapons abolition. So, in talking about challenges, there are still nearly 15,000 nuclear warheads existing in this world. And many countries still stick with the idea that the nuclear weapon and its deterrence power can protect nations and as well as the people. And the risk that nuclear weapon can be detonated either by intention or by accident are increasing. So, but at the same time, we are facing a lot of opportunities. There's an accumulating will of the international community to try to overcome these difficulties, especially among the non-nuclear weapon states. So the recent adoption of the treaty to prohibit the nuclear weapon is a very good example. With the determination to abolish nuclear weapon, the people, the international community can change the discourse about the nuclear weapon. So after my lectures, it was followed by the group discussion. The participants were divided into 10 groups. And for the group discussion, there were 3 questions they discussed about. Number 1, what are the challenges that we must overcome in order to abolish nuclear weapons? Number 2, what are the solutions? And number 3, what Hiroshima should do to encourage the abolition of the nuclear weapon? They're very, very important questions, but at the same time, it's very difficult. There is no simple answer. But I think, the participant struggled, but I was really impressed because in every single group, they engaged in the very active discussion in constructive and cooperative manner and with lots of passion. So it was really, we were so pleased to see how the group works going on. And also I would like to point out that group leader played a very important role, and also some senior members in each group also facilitated the discussion. So it was really nice. So then each group did the group presentation for 5 minutes. After the 2 hours discussion, I think 5 minutes presentation was really tight and really tough. You have tons of things that you want to say. I totally understand. But the whole presentation was really effective and well done, well constructed. So I'm not going to address into the details because every outcome you can see in the Hiroshima Declaration, which will be presented in a minute. But overall, I saw a very good combination of participants, like logic and humanity from the both sides. It's just like head and heart. So in order to promote nuclear disarmament, we need both sides, which means you need a good information, knowledge, analytical thinking skill, but at the same time, you need a passion, you need a compassion, you need a good heart. You should understand what is the Hibakusha's message, what is the Hiroshima has been appealing to the world. So I think your experience, the first-hand experience to come to Hiroshima and visited the memorial museum and park and listen to the Hibakusha's testimony gave you a very good foundation to this discussion. On top of your good knowledge, you also got good heart to do that. So I'm sure that all of you enjoyed your group work, and I'm very convinced that all of you will keep up the good work after you going back to your country or go to any other place in the world. And then I hope you to come back to Hiroshima as your second home in near future, and hopefully you can visit Hiroshima and possibly Nagasaki, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you very much. That's my brief summarization for the discussion.
Hello, my name is Yoshiaki. I was responsible for the second half of the discussion on peace building. And as you may have heard, peace building in Japanese Heiwa Kochiku is one of the urgent and important agendas which international community is currently working on today. And it is also very relevant to talk about peace building here in Hiroshima. While context is different between Hiroshima and post-conflict societies that are undergoing contemporary peace building today, since Hiroshima experienced an interstate conflict, conflict between states, while most of the post-conflict societies today have experienced intrastate conflicts, meaning a civil war. So there are differences, but however, Hiroshima's post-war reconstruction experience can be shared as one of the examples for today's societies that are undergoing peace building. And peace building is not just about reconstructing a society or preventing a conflict from happening again, but it is also about building a peaceful society that is sustainable in the long run. So if you see peace building in that way, peace building is not just about something that is happening in distant countries, but it can be linked to our daily lives, wherever that may be, here in Hiroshima or in other countries. So in our discussion, students tackled the following 3 questions. First, what is a peaceful community? That is an end goal of peace building. Second, what are challenges for peace building in realizing a peaceful community? And 3, what can we do, we as a youth, international community, and also from what can Hiroshima contribute in addressing these challenges? And you will soon hear the results of their very lively discussion in a form of declaration. So I shouldn't talk too much about it. So I don't want to spoil the surprise. So I would like to finish my comments, but finally, but not least, for participants from Hiroshima and abroad, and also from other parts of Japan, I hope past 2 days here in Hiroshima were a fruitful experience for you. And I also wish you well and success in your endeavors in years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nakamura Sensei and Furusawa Sensei. And now I'm happy to invite the 10 representatives from the participant to overview their experience for these 3 days.
Good afternoon. My name is Nina from Brazil. And from all this time that I'm here, it made me realize how important it is to talk about the nuclear weapons, and that I should share about what I've learned here, and also share the survivors' history, because it's not every day that we listen that kind of history. I'm very thankful for the people who worked to make this meeting possible, so that in the future more people can have the knowledge of what one single bomb can do and think more about this issue. At the beginning, when I was asked if I wanted to participate in this forum, it made me think that it would be good to know the opinions from people of Hiroshima, because in Brazil we never had problems with that, so we don't discuss about that, and that's really important. So my moms always tell me that no one can take the knowledge away from me. So I hope more people around the world can learn what we learned here and never forget about it. And being here today together with so many different nationalities, it just proves that it's possible to move on together and learn from what happened in the past. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shota Sanada. I come here from Japan, Hiroshima Prefecture, representing Group B. So today's question was, the question was what I learned in Hiroshima. Through the 3 days in this Hiroshima Junior International Forum, I have learned and experienced many things that I haven't done in my years of living in Hiroshima. During the forum, we were given the opportunity to listen to the hibakusha's voice, which I think is very, very valuable because it is a story based on an actual experience. And also the number of hibakusha alive today is becoming very small. I think as long as Japan is under the nuclear umbrella, it would discourage Japan to sign the treaties. We are the only ones that can persuade America, and that is the most important part in Japan's roles. Peace has a lot of definitions. And I think that it differs from person to person. I think that accepting that the different aspects of peace is very important to make this world a better and more peaceful one. Being a Hiroshima citizen, of where we learn about what happened in 1945 from our primary school days, we are some of the youngest ones who knows about the atomic bombing, and it is our generation's responsibility to spread the message to the world. And we are still high school students, and we cannot go around the world telling people to be aware of the problem. So this kind of platform for discussion, which is multinational and multicultural, is a very good way to share our opinions with the world. We should treasure what we have gained in this forum and remember to pass on what we learned here. Lastly, I would like to thank all staffs, guests, and students that made this forum a very wonderful one. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Clara Ferran from Spain. Today, I have two things that I want to share with all of you. First, in these 3 days, I learned that a homeland don't have to be a country. For explaining this, I will talk about my experience. I'm Spanish, but I was born and grew up in Japan. So I always feel that there isn't a place which I can say it's my homeland. But in these 3 days, I thought this kind of place, like international events, it's my homeland. Sharing ideas and feelings without obstruction with people who have different nationalities made me feel more confident about my history, and I feel that I could be helpful. Maybe to be an Asian between the nationalities is my strength. So I want to be a person who helps to solve the issues between countries. In conclusion, I learned that a homeland is not always a country. It could be a place or state. Secondly, I learned about the importances of families. In these 3 days, I noticed that families are like small societies. Sometimes there are arguments and differences between siblings and parents, but you can live together. In this point, it's like a society. So I think to realize the peace of a society, we should start with accepting and loving our families. And also, this will make easy to understand people around us and people of other countries. How can we accept them without accepting and loving our families? Yesterday, I heard what happened in Barcelona. I was shocked that it was the place where I know and where I have walked many times. My family in Spain was safe, but what will happen to the families who lost their family members? Terrorism are destroying families, but what we should know is that there is a possibility that the family of the terrorist was destroyed before this. Those things are preventing us from realizing peace. In conclusion, I want to say we should love our husband, wife, children, and siblings to realize peace. Thank you.
My name is Yuto Aki, and I'm from Japan. I took part in this forum because I wanted to share my opinions with students from different backgrounds, and I actually learned about the importance of peace and how exactly we can achieve it through the lectures and discussions we had. I was in Group D, and we focused on discussing the challenges in building peace and some of the solutions. Let me tell you some ideas we came up with. First, we talked about the challenges, and we found that cultural and religious differences are the main cause of wars and conflicts. As for the solutions to this problem, we first thought that nuclear weapons have to be abolished. Many people feel they are unsafe and are suffering from the fear of them. And also, we each have a responsibility to future generations to end the threat that nuclear weapons pose to humanity and all living things. Secondly, we thought an online forum would be a good way to share our opinions to think about peace building and other issues like poverty. I think I can actually state my opinion as a student in Hiroshima, which is the first place where the atomic bomb was dropped in the entire world. I believe this will help quite a lot because we can share our thoughts and try to act on them at any time. These are the ideas we came up with during the discussion. Through this forum, I also learned that communication was very important and we could not do anything without it. Finally, we talked about world peace, and now I believe that we are the people who can really change the world by holding this forum again and again and translating the ideas into action. So I really hope that we can take action to achieve world peace in the future. Thank you very much.
So, hello everyone. My name is Enerstan Pairmagne. I'm a participant from Mongolia. Before I came here, I only knew what nuclear weapons were and the brief dark history of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But after listening to various lectures, visiting the Peace Memorial Museum, and communicating with kids all around the world made me realize how much of a crucial issue this is, and that this issue will decide our future. Not only does this frighten me, but it also encouraged me to build a better world, a weapon-free, peaceful world with equality. We are the next generations of our world, so good luck to everyone, and I would like to say thanks to everyone who's here, and special thanks to the people who organized this event. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Megumi Kamibepu. I'm half Japanese and half American. Since I live in Hiroshima, I've had multiple occasions to learn about the tragic event that happened 72 years ago. However, this time, this experience had a slight difference: the people. I have made friends from Ghana, Bangladesh, Vietnam, and many more places. Only knowing these countries' political situation or even just their existence, I felt so distant to them in the beginning. Like figuring out which part of their name I should call them, or awkwardly asking them to repeat themselves 5 times because I couldn't understand what they were saying. But those were something that I could overcome. But despite all the differences in our cultural backgrounds, we all had at least one goal in common that united us: making the world a peaceful place. Moreover, abolishing nuclear weapons. In the group discussions where we discussed the challenges and solutions of this controversial issue, I had started off trying to figure out more about the people I had just met before comfortably sharing my opinions. But that was nearly unnecessary, since everybody was passionate in what they were claiming. We were throwing out many ideas, as one added, making our mind map a huge mess. So surprisingly, the hourly-long discussions passed by very quickly. I gained various new perspectives from my group members as a representative from their country, but also as an individual in this world. There is no better place to promote peace and to express the cruel effect of the atomic bomb than the city of peace and hope that we are in right now, Hiroshima. As the next generation leading the world, I feel great responsibilities in our hands. If us youths who gathered from all over the world can get along well in only 3 days, I strongly feel a global change is possible with hard work. We were told we can be change makers, and now I truly believe it. Thank you.
Minasan, konnichiwa.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Quebec, Canada. I'm representing Group G, and I'm really happy to see you today. So what have I learned in Hiroshima these days? It's actually a good question, because it is not only about me who is getting out of here with an improved knowledge. I would say it's about me who have learned here from my experience, like this experience in itself. I mean, usually when you're talking about experiences, you often refer to something that has changed yourself. Because yeah, life is making of experience that actually change all of us as humans. I have an interesting story for you about change. It is about a little guy that have passed the last 7 years in a small village far away in Canada. There were no foreigners there. And the only thing I could learn from the exterior was told by the media or internet. And yeah, because you can't actually have a complete idea of what is going on in the exterior when you haven't experienced the exterior yet. So by coming here in Japan with AFS And then in this forum, I had been able to complete my own opinion about exterior. What is it? And let me tell you something. It is awesome. Because by this, I was able to meet new people and actually talk with them. I made wonderful friends, really wonderful friends, that even though they were totally different from me, I have learned a lot of things about world from them. I have been able to speak Japanese a lot, English a lot, because yeah, even if I come from Canada, I'm not an English speaker, like a native English speaker. I'm actually speaking French as a first language. Yeah, which are languages that I couldn't have spoke that much fluently by staying in my small town, of course. And you know, I am also getting back a lot of things from speaking in these languages by opening my mind to others and listen to them. Things as self-confidence and happiness. Because, hey, I can now speak with English speakers and with Japanese speakers, which brings me to make new friends that I could never made, and we can actually understand each other, so that's great. So that diversity, these differences that you might think are actually building walls between each other, are to me, of course, walls, but with open doors in it. I don't know if you can imagine what I'm saying, but which these doors, which will bring you to a new world over the rainbow, where you will, as me, learn a bunch of things in the new world. So what have I learned in Hiroshima? I have learned about a new Jeremy Nedo. I have learned about a new world. And I think that until now, it is the best thing I have ever experienced in my whole life. I changed a lot, but I'm not the only one who has changed. So that is why I have a lot of hope for making the world from now on a place where we can have fun together instead of guns against each other. You know, we might seem little as humans compared to the world, but it is actually when we put together every little pieces of that puzzle that is humanity, when you put us together as a group, as friends, that we can create a beautiful place where it is awesome to live. I'm Jeremy Nadeau from Canada. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anju Niwata. I'm from Hiroshima Prefecture. I discussed in Group H. 72 years ago, Hiroshima was destroyed by the atomic bombing, and many innocent people died. Hibakusha, who miraculously survived, are aging year by year, and someday we will be unable to listen to their voices. We are the last generation to learn from them directly. As a Hiroshima citizen, I thought I have a mission to continue spreading the reality of the atomic bombing and the thoughts of the Hibakusha so that people never again have the same suffering. So I was very happy to discuss how we can realize a nuclear-free world and concrete solutions about them, and the reconstruction and peace building. Then I'd like to announce some important viewpoints. First, not only the non-nuclear weapon states, but also nuclear weapon and nuclear umbrella states should gather and discuss and share their mindsets. And they should identify human beings can live with nuclear weapon. Leaders should visit Hiroshima and Nagasaki and see the exhibition, imagine what happened there, and spread thoughts of them in their hometown. Second, the younger generation like us should take more action for peace all over the world. Also, the power of civil society is very strong. In my case, I'm with the signature collecting committee at my school, Hiroshima Senior High School. At my committee, we work for peace by collecting signatures to abolish nuclear weapons and guiding people around the Peace Memorial Park and recording testimonies of the hibakusha. And we edit it by ourselves and upload it on Hiroshima Archive. And this is a smartphone application, so we can read and listen to the testimonies at every time and everywhere. I was very happy to hear that some participants tried using this application. So please spread it to your friends and make actions by yourself. Finally, even now, there are many people who are suffering from war and unrest throughout the world. They haven't given up a hope to reconstruct by knowing the reconstruction of Hiroshima. But we tend to be indifferent to these problems and see as if we have nothing to do with them. So we should always pay attention to world news and events. It's also important to appreciate normal life and to be very grateful to live a normal life. That's what I learned from this forum. I'd like to make the best use of this precious experience and continue taking actions for peace from Hiroshima. So let's make a peaceful world together. Thank you for listening.
I'm from Int'l, most merciful, most compassion, and the first time in my own turn I welcome all of you in this program. I wish Allah you all of you doing well, and this Allah to test from the support of this program, which paved the ground for me that we join or we participate in this program and share idea about the issue of peace. I hope that you have a wonderful time. So today is one of my best day, and I would like to start my presentation. So today we talk what we learned in Hiroshima. We learned a lot in Hiroshima, including about the importance of peace and also about the cooperation with each other and also expressing our opinions about the issue of peace and creating it. And also we understand in this program, or we learned in this program about the bad effect of the nuclear weapons, and also we meet with foreigners, students, and we exchange our idea and our opinions, our culture with another. And also in this program, we found out about the Peace Museum, Peace Park, and Hiroshima, and also we learn in Hiroshima about how we can create a peaceful community and how we can create a peaceful world, and what's the necessary thing that we realize is a peaceful community. So what problems are there we can't create a peaceful community, and what we can do to create a peaceful community is the matter, is the issue that we learn in Hiroshima. And also we learned in this program that by which way that we can easily bring peace in a world, and we can easily create a peaceful community or society. So the one way that we can easily bring peace in a world, and we can easily create a peaceful community is unity. And unity is so important and valuable for creating a peaceful community or a peaceful world. We must remove discrimination when we want to create a peaceful community. And also we learned in this program about some countries that have nuclear weapons, like China, Japan, India, Pakistan, Russia, United States, and also UK, DPRK. And also we know that more of these nuclear weapons related to the United States and also Russia. And we know how we can stop the making and the using of the nuclear weapons in the world. And also in Hiroshima, we learned about this, that how we can do for making a good society. And also we learned that in 1947 in Hiroshima, the people of the Hiroshima make an organization for creating a better and a good society. And And also in this program, we learned about what solution exists in Hiroshima that we can easily create a peaceful community. And also we learned in this conference what's the role of Hiroshima against of the peace and what Hiroshima can do for the peace, what's challenge, what's the solution, what we can do for the future. And also in this program, we know or we learned about this, which how we can work together and about the importance of the relationship between of our students. And in this program also we learned about the different students that they join or participate in different countries, about the religion and about the culture. And also in this program we also learned about the importance and value of peace in a world. And also we realized that it's the necessary things, and all people of world need to this. And also in Hiroshima, we learned a lot of things that time is so late. I can't share all of this. Thank you so much.
So hello everyone, I am Kai Watanabe from Japan. Through the Hiroshima International Junior Forum, I have learned a lot of things about Hiroshima and global issues related to peace. All the topics I learned and discussed in those 3 days helped me to shape my identity as a cosmopolitan person. Then I realized in this forum that cultural exchange is one of the most essential factors towards achieving the ultimate goal of peace building. I have grown up in the countryside of Japan, so I hadn't seen many foreigners or people with a variety of cultural backgrounds. Therefore, I never had a chance to know what they're thinking and what they're feeling about Japan and global society. Also, there was no opportunity to tell them my thoughts and ideas and vice versa. However, in this forum, I was able to share my opinion and my thoughts about the current international society with students from all over the world. That was such a great stimulus for my mind because some ideas from them are totally new and fresh for me. So they helped me to deepen and improve my ideas and opinions. Also, I could make friends with other participants who I wouldn't meet if I didn't participate in this program. So no matter where we come from, no matter what language we speak, we have shared happy moments together. We enjoyed them. I am sure that our friendships will be precious for our lives. And if we could construct similar relationships on the state level between countries, it will bring peace to the world to become a more comfortable place to live in. In my opinion, understanding others' backgrounds and accepting them is important in solving global issues such as armed conflicts and even nuclear weapons. This forum has provided a great chance for us to take the first step towards peace. I deeply appreciate Hiroshima Prefecture to hold and host these events and stuffs, and also as well as all of very thoughtful participants. Thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you very much. I believe that I'm not only person who are overwhelmed by such a wonderful, powerful presentation by the 10 representatives. So please give them big hands for their wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. Now I'm happy to share the excellent outcome of the 3 days discussion made by the wonderful participant. So I'm honored to invite 20 representatives to deliver the Hiroshima Declaration. But before that, maybe the lady will have some announcement.
Professor Sado and presenters, thank you very much. The next program is the announcement of the Hiroshima Declaration. Please wait until all are ready.
Hiroshima Junior International Forum 2017, Hiroshima Declaration. Preamble. We, high school students in Hiroshima Prefecture and from 29 countries and regions across the world, and international students studying at universities in Hiroshima Prefecture, gathered here in Hiroshima City as participants in the Hiroshima Junior International Forum to learn together about several of the issues that our world is currently facing, and to engage in discussions with the aim of realizing world peace. We each came with our own diverse experiences and sense of values, and meeting here in Hiroshima, we learned a great deal from each other, as well as from the wider community in Hiroshima.
This year marks 72 years since the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. In addition, this is also the year that the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons was adopted with the support of many countries and people from around the world. This showed us that both ordinary people and leaders feel the same way about the inhumane nature of nuclear weapons. We are certain that the will and enthusiasm of people toward abolishing nuclear weapons is increasing. We, the participants of the Hiroshima Junior International Forum, strongly felt this enthusiasm here in Hiroshima. On the other hand, nuclear weapon states did not participate in the negotiation of the treaty. We acknowledge that because of this, it will take time for us to see the full and substantial effects of the treaty that can only be brought about by participation of two states. But we recognize that no matter how large the problems, they have to be overcome.
Gathering in Hiroshima and while holding our discussions, we became strongly aware of Hiroshima as a city that was once laid to waste by an atomic bomb, but also of Hiroshima as a vibrant city that made a full recovery. We saw that many travelers gather in Hiroshima to learn about the city's history and culture. Hiroshima is a city that suffered from the atomic bomb and recovered from it. But if we look around the world, we can see that not every city has achieved peace and made a recovery like Hiroshima. As ever, we cannot say that we live in a peaceful world. But we, the younger generation, have a responsibility and a right to build a better future. We have learned from each other. We have discussed and considered the following issues and imperatives and have identified the roles that we and the global community can and should play to confront them.
Abolition of nuclear weapons. First, we considered the issues related to the abolition of nuclear weapons. Number one,
72 years after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the reality of nuclear weapons is becoming less and less known across the world and within Japan. We fear that the horror and tragedy of non-atomic bombing is being forgotten. We believe that countries across the world, especially those countries possessing nuclear weapons, must know the reality of nuclear weapons and the consequences of their usage. The view from above the mushroom cloud is well known. The horror below the mushroom cloud must be more widely understood.
It is a common belief among countries that the possession of nuclear weapons and the deterrent effect of these weapons provides protection for the countries possessing them, or for countries under the nuclear umbrella of nuclear weapon possessing nations. Further, there are nations which are of the belief that possession of nuclear weapons confers an increase in the status of the nation as far as the international community is concerned. We believe that politicians and governments need before anything to change their mindsets and associated attitudes. Governments of nations possessing nuclear weapons and those under the nuclear umbrella of such nations must resign their reliance of nuclear weapons, either directly or indirectly, as a shield. Meanwhile, some governments of nations without nuclear weapons must come to realize that possession of such weapons will not grant them safety or protection. Further, when promises basis of treaty obligations are made by governments, these promises must be kept. Citizens must put pressure on politicians to change policies, which are a threat to peace, for example, by collecting signatures. Politicians must respect the wishes of the citizens of their countries. In the same way, citizens should show their support for politicians who are making efforts towards peace.
Number 3, the possession of nuclear weapons by a country serves to spread fear and distrust amongst surrounding countries. There is therefore a situation where these surrounding countries feel compelled to increase the number of nuclear weapons they themselves own. The result of this is not only that nuclear disarmament fails to progress, but that there is a danger of further nuclear proliferation. We believe that countries must actively engage in confidence-building measures in good faith as a means to work towards the reduction of nuclear weapons. A commitment must also be made to a deadline for the eventual complete elimination of these weapons.
4. Generally, there is insufficient trust between countries. This is true in the case where two countries both possess nuclear weapons, and in the case where one of the countries possesses nuclear weapons while the other one does not. Insufficient communication between countries can also foster this issue. We believe that countries must sign up to all relevant treaties, such as the Treaty on Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, and adhere to the conditions of these treaties. By doing so, they can make their intentions clear, thus increasing transparency and working towards the increase and improvement of trust between nations. Further, trust is imperative not just between states, but between citizens. Countries must make efforts to promote exchange, not just between students and young people, but in fields such as cultural, technological, and economic.
5. The influence of the arms industry related to nuclear weapons provides a strong disincentive to disarmament. Nuclear weapons provide profits for military industries. Governments should be encouraged to reduce military spending instead of utilizing this money for overseas development, etc. We believe the industry should be encouraged not to engage in activities related to nuclear weapons, including development and production. Further, this industry should be encouraged to participate in general activities connected to peace as sponsors.
6. There is the danger that those who do not possess nuclear weapons may be able to obtain them. This applies not only to countries where there is the possibility that nuclear weapons may be obtained through the black market, but also to terrorists. We believe that as an immediate step, the relevant authorities in each country must improve and strengthen the security under which nuclear weapons are controlled. However, citizens and governments alike must realize that the most definite and reliable solution to this problem is abolition.
Reconstruction and peace building. Secondly, we consider the issue related to peace building. A peaceful community is not just a community of people living without the fear of war. It is a community of people living together in harmony with shared values such as human rights and with mutual understanding. Its members respect each other and solving conflict by peaceful means. Moreover, it is a community where everyone has equal rights and opportunities. There are many challenges that impede the realization of such a peaceful community, and these challenges need to be overcome by means of peace-building efforts. 1. A lack of awareness of the fact that we all have differences in culture, religion, and way of thinking causes misunderstanding and creates a sense of discrimination. The stereotypes that people develop are often far away from reality. In both developed and developing countries, xenophobia is just one of the results of misconception. We must acknowledge our differences and learn about them through education. We need to make use of all the communication skills we can master in order that we can deepen mutual understanding and come to respect the value of others.
Second, governments and political leaders often lack the political will to overcome global issues in the pursuit of peace. They are ready to take the risk of engaging in conflict in the national interest, but they do not think so much of what is best for their citizens. Some politicians seek personal benefits and may become involved in corruption, which again can lead to conflict. We need to exert pressure on politicians to listen to those people who currently do not have voices. Young people can utilize very powerful tools of communication, such as social networks, in order to advocate the issues in which are important to them, and to appeal to governments and political leaders to accommodate their needs. We should ensure that we make the very best possible use of these tools.
3. Poverty is another issue as far as peace building is concerned. Poverty leads to rise in crime rate and child labor in developing countries and can often result in basic needs such as food, shelter, and water being unmet. Politicians and government have a duty to satisfy people's basic needs. International aid is important, but fostering the ability of individuals through education is also indispensable in order to make development sustainable. Civil society also has a role to play, such as in the work done by charities.
Fourth, terrorism is occurring both in developed and developing countries today. For example, 13 people became victims of a terrorist attack in Barcelona even while we were discussing this document. These attacks are global in the sense that wherever they may occur, they have their roots in issues common to both developing and developed countries. Furthermore, radicalized people who are ready to commit terrorist attacks may emerge from discrimination and inequality within a society. In addressing this issue of terrorism, in order to take a stand against the root causes, political leaders, governments, and individuals must respect diversity and confront radicalism. For example, school education and diversity in communities can be effective tools against radicalization. We must recognize that the media has a crucial role to play in the fight against terrorism. Newspapers and television programs must give accurate information, not news designed to maximize profits and circulation.
The role of Hiroshima. Finally, we consider the ways in which Hiroshima can contribute to the resolution of the issues above. First, Hiroshima can play a huge role in spreading the truth of the horror of atomic bombs. It is imperative that the city and its citizens are active in passing on the experience of Hiroshima. In particular, as the Hibakusha become older and fewer in number each passing year, ensuring that their messages are passed on across the world and across the generation should be responsibility of all the citizens of the city. Hiroshima can also play a role as a messenger for peace by sharing its history and experience of post-war reconstructions. For those who visit Hiroshima, the Peace Memorial Museum plays a vital role in spreading the message of the horror of the atomic bombing and the importance of peace.
Second, in conjunction with this, peace education should be strengthened and extended. We believe that peace education in Hiroshima has had a significant and wide-reaching effect on the young people of Hiroshima, and therefore, that is especially vital that all children in the world in primary education should learn about Hiroshima and the importance of peace. Tax revenue could be used in part to fund these programs. Third, of course, social media can be used effectively and to great effect to spread information about Hiroshima to the world. Along with this, though, conventional media should also be employed in order to ensure that as many people in as many countries as possible are able to learn about the message of Hiroshima. Further, media such as movies, anime, art, and mobile applications are also effective means of spreading information.
Fourth, Hiroshima can also play a role as a leader for peace education across the world in a more general sense, sharing love, peace, and forgiveness. Hiroshima should promote and hold peace-related ceremonies and events in other cities and in other countries. For example, this Hiroshima Junior International Forum could be held in various locations around the world. Hiroshima should also promote the establishment in other countries of museums related to peace.
Further, Hiroshima can become a role model for peace-building efforts, an example of hope in post-war reconstruction, an example of a stable, diverse community. In this sense, Hiroshima is an ideal location to host regional forums, as well to hold peace-related international exchange programs, such as festivals and this Junior International Forum. This Hiroshima prefectural government may also be able to support the people of Hiroshima in participating in peace-building activities. Hiroshima can also provide support for people with different backgrounds, often from different countries, in order they can contribute to making the community more diverse and resilient.
Finally, we believe that Hiroshima should make use of its moral authority to encourage leaders from across the world to work together with governments, both regional and national, towards a peaceful world, free of nuclear weapons.
Closing remarks. We, the young people who gathered in Hiroshima for this Junior International Forum, as ambassadors of peace, hereby pledge our determination to contribute to the achievement of the aims and the initiatives set out in this declaration.
We would do this as active contributors to like wider society, but also by actions that we can take precisely because of our youth. We pledge to spread the message of Hiroshima to as many people around us as possible in our daily lives when we return to our home communities. In order to do this, we will make full use of all the tools at our disposal. In order to reach as many groups of people as we can, we will talk not just about the tragedy that occurred in Hiroshima, but also about the reconstruction and the rebirth of the city.
We pledge to devote ourselves to studying and learning from other countries, other cultures, and other beliefs. By doing so, we aim to become people of impartiality who can bridge the gaps between different groups, aiming to reduce misunderstandings and increase acceptance between us. Finally, with the message of Hiroshima in your hearts, we pledge to live our lives with love and compassion.
Thank you very much. Now, the representative of the present participants will hand the Hiroshima Declaration to Governor Yuzaki. Governor Yuzaki, please come up to the stage.
Now, the Hiroshima Junior International representatives of the Hiroshima Junior International Forum, would you give the declaration to the Governor Yuzaki? Thank you very much.
続きまして参加者の皆さん
Now, the participants will be appointed as ambassadors of this forum. The ambassadors are expected to take action for the objective of this forum, that is the promotion of international peace and friendship. Governor Yuzaki and the representatives, please.
Hiroshima Prefecture has approved the appointment of Kitahara Takuma as ambassador of Hiroshima Junior International Forum, 19th August 2017. Hidehiko Yuzaki, Governor of Hiroshima Prefecture. よろしくお願いします。Certificate of Appointment. Hiroshima Prefecture has approved the appointment of Morita Valentina Aiko as Ambassador of Hiroshima Junior International Forum, 19th August 2017. Hidehiko Yuzaki, Governor of Hiroshima Prefecture.
All present here, can you please give them a big round of applause? Thank you.
Now, we'd like to invite Governor Yuzaki for greeting. Please be seated. Now, Governor Yuzaki will say a few words of greeting. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Hidehiko Yuzaki, Governor of Hiroshima Prefecture. Thank you for coming to the briefing session of the second Hiroshima Junior International Forum. Foreign high school students living overseas or in Japan, senior high school students, and international students studying in Hiroshima, thank you for your participation. And the coordinators of the discussions, Professor Sado, Professor Nakamura, and Professor Furuzawa, and Shiro Sato, Professor Sato Shiro, and Kuro Shiro, and Nelson Takua, Professor Nelson Takua. Thank you very much for your dedication. The Hiroshima Junior International Forum is organized for foreign high school students living overseas or in Japan, and senior high school students and international students studying Hiroshima from 29 countries and regions to hold discussions and exchange views on global peace, and then they would send a message to the world, and at the same time deep mutual international understanding. Thus, the prefecture can develop human resources for the next generation and fortify initiative as a hub for global peace. And that you understand the real facts of the atomic bombing and held discussions on what they should do and can do to realize world peace and issues and solutions in the areas of nuclear weapons abolition and reconstruction and peace building by overcoming the differences among them. And the results of discussion are summarized in the Hiroshima Declaration to be sent at their peace message. I received the Hiroshima Declaration. 16 items, 16 challenges were identified, and the solutions were also proposed, including the local government and the municipalities and the participants themselves. What kind of action should be taken by those stakeholders are discussed in the declaration. In the last 3 days, just 3 days, you held a discussion, and a wonderful declaration, wonderful summary was created. And 2 days ago, I met you and I said to you, because Hiroshima was destroyed by the nuclear weapons, and also Hiroshima was able to reconstruct itself from the devastation of nuclear weapons, and I would like you to know what Hiroshima is, and then based on that knowledge, you held discussion the last 2 days. I'm very happy to know that. In particular, nuclear weapons abolition and peace and reconstruction of a city, I would like you pointed out your action to put pressure on the policymakers, and I was glad to know that. And also the pressure and you are going to use the social network or other media to identify the issues so that you can appeal to the policymakers. That was included in the declaration, and I'm very happy to know that. And in Hiroshima, we are working on that too. One of the activities we are doing is that to call for the world leader, global leader, to come to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And because they are actually, they will actually have to implement the policies for the nuclear weapons abolition. So it is important to work to talk to the world leaders. And what Hiroshima should do more is that dissemination of peace message to the world using social network. And you made a recommendation or a suggestion in your declaration, and it is a very important suggestion. And the students who have been assigned to Hiroshima Junior International Forum ambassador, I'd like each of you, the ambassador of this forum, to tell at your school and community what you saw, felt, and thought here in Hiroshima. And then also, I'd like you to continue to participate in the Hiroshima's activities. And then you said you will have an Hiroshima the message at your heart, and you said you will pledge to work with compassion and love. And because when you issue that message to the world, then each of the citizens that we can collect the wills of individual citizens on the nuclear weapons abolition in each your country and form public opinion, that will become a source of force that drives toward abolition of nuclear weapons. I believe that the role you play will be huge. In closing, I'd like to extend my gratitude to the World Business Forum Global Shapers, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and many others who offered a great deal of support and cooperation to this Hiroshima Junior International Forum. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, thank you for your good work.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you. This now concludes the debriefing session of the Hiroshima Junior International Forum. When you leave the hall, please return your interpretation receiver to the staff at the exit. And also, can you please give the questionnaire to the staff at the exit? Please make sure you have all belongings with you. Thank you very much for joining us today.